Hey legends, it's Cam here from Echoes of the Pit for Headbangers Australia. For more than 3 decades, Dani Filth has remained one of heavy music's most distinctive voices, leading Cradle of Filth through an ever-evolving career defined by theatricality, imagination, and uncompromising creativity. Their 2025 album, The Screaming of the Valkyries, has only strengthened that legacy. And now, Australian fans are finally set to experience one of the year's most anticipated extreme metal jaunts as Cradle of Filth join forces with American groove metal heavyweights DevilDriver for a massive co-headliner tour kicking off in only a matter of days now. Please welcome to the pit, the phenomenal Dani Filth. Dani, we are very honoured to have you here with us. How are you?
I'm better now after that intro. You just needed some kettle drums at the end there, so like Ben-Hur.
Yeah, absolutely.
Build it up. I feel like standing like on the edge of a cliff now.
So yeah, as I mentioned, Cradle of Filth, DevilDriver, heading down to Australia in just under a week now. How's the preparation going? Are we excited?
What? Preparation? Well, I did pack rudimentarily, if that's the word. And then I found out last night it's cold there, so I've had to unpack because I've just packed like summer stuff. Uh,
Ah,
and it's really well. It's cooler here today, but I was in Paris at the last weekend, and it was like 41, and
oof,
it's a different feel over here in this hemisphere when it's like that. It just
yeah,
doesn't. It don't feel right, and it didn't feel right. It was like an oven. So
yeah.
I think I'm quite relieved to come somewhere that's a little cooler. I hate to admit it, but yes.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. I guess our winters here would be quite mild for you, so it'll probably be quite a nice change.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Now, obviously, bringing both of these bands down under, um, they're obviously both from two very different musical backgrounds. Yet,
Well, I mean, it's not that different, really, is it? On the
oh,
scale of music, they're kind of similar. In metal, yeah.
mm,
I made the connection that DevilDriver are like the meat and potatoes main meal, and we like this very fancy exotic dessert,
yes,
possibly with dark cherries and sort of whipped cream.
yeah, absolutely. Perhaps like the liquor on fire on the top.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I
Liquor.
had the pleasure of chatting with Des a couple of weeks ago, and he actually referenced you saying that, which is a really cool summation of the tour. Aussies do
Yeah,
love
well, he's been there and he's nicked on my good lines.
yeah,
Right, that's it. Tours off.
absolutely. So, was this something that for you and Des and the band, wider than that, always sort of seemed as a natural fit, the two bands together?
Well, he's our manager, or at least he's one part of our management. It's his wife's management company, and we've been with him for about 6, 7 years now.
Mhm.
And um, he's also one of my very best friends. And we've done this tour twice. I mean, we toyed with the idea originally and wondered how it works. We did one tour in the States, and it went down so well that we did another. And then we were just thinking about where else we could bring it, bearing in mind, obviously, it's a time factor thing
Yeah.
um, in relation to what they doing, what we doing. When's the availability? When can we both unite? But it worked really well, and the fans really appreciate it because yeah, there's a slight difference in the bands, so they're not, as I said, not a million miles apart. It's not totally chalk and cheese, but we do
Absolutely.
have elements that they don't, and we have elements that they do, and it
Mm.
works well. And there's a bit of camaraderie between the bands as well. We share a crew, so we feel thick as thieves, and we feel a bit like family.
Yeah, absolutely. And Des actually said the same thing, which is I think will bring a really cool vibe to the tour as a whole. And personally, what are you looking forward to most coming back to Australia again?
Uh, Kangaroos. I know. I just love the fans there. It's just a real different vibe. I mean, you could drop people from anywhere in the world and just drop them in Australia blindfolded. Well, no, maybe not blindfolded, but not in front of the Sydney Opera House. That would give it away.
Yeah,
Uh, and you'd know you were there because the fans have a certain feel to them, much like South America has a certain vibe to it.
yeah,
And it's good. It's raucous. It's energetic. They're, really appreciative. It's something that we've come to like taste a few times over the year, and it's kind of infectious, really. And I know the gig is going to be great, which inspires the band, obviously.
yeah,
And yeah, if we could just stay there a bit longer. And this time as well, we get some days off, which we didn't have last time. Last time
yeah,
was literally in and out with a few hours to spare in Melbourne midweek.
yeah.
But this time we have like a little glut of days off. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll find something amazing to do. We always do.
No doubt. And I was actually going to mention that as well. That Cradle of Filth have been visiting Australia for a couple of decades now. And with each tour, you seem to attract not only those really loyal fans, but whole new generations of fans as you come back. And particularly the last Australian run in 24 with Infected Rain, was sold out or very, very close to sold out across the board, which really says
Yeah, funny enough, I just bumped into Lena recently at Grass Pop and
yeah,
haven't really seen her since Australia either.
yeah,
Uh, but no, that was a great tour. I
yeah,
really enjoyed that.
so well received. And as you said, the Aussie crowds have a reputation for really throwing themselves into the moment. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
does that energy really feed you? Like you've been doing this for such a long time. It's such an amazing level.
You keep saying that. You're making me feel really, really old now. It's like, yeah,
Amazing
Jesus, been
compliment.
around since the 16th century.
Perhaps, perhaps.
Mhm. Yeah, well, obviously we feed off it. I mean, if everybody was just sitting there picking their noses, it would be quite a different atmosphere as to what actually goes down.
Yeah,
Um, and DevilDriver are one of those bands that really warm the crowd up. I mean, I think our audience isn't quite so violent as theirs. I mean, theirs is all about the mosh pit.
yeah,
Uh, we do get mosh pits, obviously. We do play. We are playing some, really heavy material and fast material as well.
yeah.
But I do find that a great deal of audience are sort of taking in the spectacle, enjoying the whole thing, and we are bringing production with us, and
Mm,
it's gonna be great. It's just the right length for tour that a couple of weeks that justifies the travel.
mm. Yeah, because that's one of the challenging things, I guess, coming to Australia. We are so far away,
Yeah,
and
I'm so crap at sleeping on planes as well, so I always end up turning up exhausted.
yeah,
It's things you just about to drift off, and you think, "Great, this is it. This is the moment."
yeah,
And then somebody barges past you, or somebody next to you needs a bloody toilet, and then
yeah.
you're up for 20 hours or whatever, just
But
wide-eyed watching some shit movies.
and that's the thing as well. Like, not only once you're here, our country is so big that it's all planes again. So it's just this constant travel. Um,
Yeah.
but as we mentioned about the Screaming of the Valkyries album, one of the exciting things about this tour is not only DevilDriver dropping their incredible new album on the Sydney date, but it's the first time that Australia gets to sort of experience a lot of your new album's material as well in that live setting.
Well, that's bearing in mind we're playing some.
Yes,
We are. Yeah, we absolutely are.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I was going to say now that the Screaming of the Valkyries has had a little bit of time to breathe and sort of live with the audiences. What does the album represent for you in terms of the evolution of Cradle of Filth?
Well, I think it's album number 14. I think it does its job in tying up everything relating to the past. It has glimpses of earlier works and Meister works and sort of mid-range, sort of middle period, I guess.
Mm,
Uh, I think it takes elements of all that and then moves it a lot more forward. And I Well, I know that people weren't disappointed by it, and they really liked the throwback style stuff and the moving into new territory.
Mm.
We're currently in the middle of recording. Oh, obviously, we're going to put it on hiatus for a little bit because we're coming to Australia.
Yeah.
Our newest album, which we'll see released next year. And again, that is a progression from the Screaming of the Valkyries. It hasn't deserted our roots,
Yeah.
far from it, but it's expanded upon everything, and it's trying to tug it. I think it tugs at the heartstrings. There's a lot of melody on it,
Right.
but then I can't really, when people ask to describe one of our albums, I can't really pigeonhole it because it touches upon so much. We're trying to be a little bit soundtracky, in
Mm.
respect of different atmospheres in different songs, and it being tragic and morose and brutal and just having lots of different emotional elements to it. So it's very hard to pin down exactly what direction it is. And I hate using the terminology experimental because everybody just thinks, oh no, what are they doing? Experimental.
Yeah.
Um, but it just put it, I would say it pushes the envelope out in respect to what we do.
Mm.
We try new things, new ideas, and sticking with the ancient formula of what we've been known as. People will listen to this album and will go, "That's Cradle of Filth." And in respect to the Screaming of the Valkyries, uh, I think, yeah, no, I know that people really liked it, and it was just the next evolutionary step for the band.
Yeah, awesome. And that's sort of, as you say, there's one thing that Cradle of Filth have always been so well known for and so
Don't
fantastic
say over the last 400 years, for God's
over
sake.
the last 300 years, is that each album, really does create this sort of very cinematic, theatrical world within itself, so each of them are so very individual yet connected. Which is amazing. It's very exciting to see another world emerge for the next album. Um, and touching on playing new songs in the set when you come to Australia, how important is it for each tour, particularly when you come down every few years, to sort of introduce that sort of fresh stuff while celebrating so many of the classics that everyone wants to hear all the time. How important is it to you to really mix it up a bit?
Well, naturally, it's getting more and more difficult every time we tour because the back catalogue gets bigger,
Yeah.
and we only have so much time to play. And I mean, if Martin, our drummer, was in charge of everything, we'd be playing for about 4 days because his original set list. You just go, that's great, but I mean, we're going to need Doctor Who and the TARDIS to fit this in the 80 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Uh, you don't forget it's a joint headline, so both bands, DevilDriver and Cradle, are going to be doing, I think, about 80 minutes each,
Wow. Awesome.
which is quite considerable. I mean, they say 70, but as I said before, our songs are rather lengthy, and we want to play as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are playing. I mean, I know what the set list is, and I know that it's very eclectic mix. People are not going to be disappointed. Not going to go, oh, you know what? It's a bit like Iron Maiden on the matter of life and death. They played all of this album and then only played 4 classics.
Yeah.
It's gonna, it's gonna be, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, awesome. Any new material of the upcoming album, or we're still waiting?
No, 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 no. That would just be asking for trouble, really. People haven't heard that. And also being in the studio means that we're kind of in a state of constant flux with it, as in we may get through to the penultimate stage of mixing and we decide to move a few things about or change some ideas or a vocal pattern. So I wouldn't really do it justice playing it now because, the songs haven't been fully cooked.
Yeah, no, and that's fair enough. And I hate to say it again, but after more than 30 years of Cradle of Filth,
Which is weird because I'm only 27.
ah, well, it has obviously become a band that really does connect those sort of the generations. And at any given show, you will see fans who discovered the band, in the 90s, alongside people experiencing it sometimes for the first time. Does that still excite you that it's music? Your music is still being discovered sometimes for the first time.
Well, yeah, obviously, being, more than 30 years old, it's good to see the different waves come and go. I mean, I was contributing to something the other day written, and it sent me back to my teenage years. And it suddenly dawned on me that whole period of like transitioning from heavy metal to thrash to death and punk and all that really only happened in a window of about 4 years for me. And I was like, Jesus, was that it? And I thought about it 13 to 17, 18. Back then, that seemed like a lifetime. And so
Yeah.
you're getting the similar pattern happening with other people. Obviously, each year someone else is born, each year somebody else gets a year older and reaches that period in which they discover metal. And
Mm.
so, it's a never ending story, literally. And it's great to see the old fans there, and it's great to see new fans there, and it's great to see people that have been fans since like the mid. And they always have a comment about something, whether it's Midian was my intro album, or Cruelty and the Beast was my go-to teenage year thing.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting because everybody has something different about it that we can relate to, and that's exactly why it makes it very tricky coming up with a set list that appeases everybody,
Yeah, I can
including
imagine.
ourselves, because we want to be happy playing stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something, I imagine could become a little bit I hate to say tiresome, but as a band that's been performing, these incredible songs for so long, there would be times where they're massive crowd or fan favorites when you're like, again, we're gonna do it again.
It's a few of those, but hey, we're happy. I can't moan about songs that made us famous.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
no, I mean, but at least we wrote them.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And so our time's sort of coming to an end a little bit. So when this Australian tour finishes up each this and fans are driving home after those incredible encores and being bludgeoned with this incredible DevilDriver and topped off with this immaculate dessert, what do you hope that they take away from the shows?
Lots of merchandise.
Very true.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope people like. It's like watching a good movie. I hope people go away and they reflect on it in their heads and go, "Oh, fuck, that was great," and that way they want to turn up in the next show as well, because obviously they're few and far between. We don't just nip back and forth every weekend, and people get bored of that anyway. And
Yeah.
there's only so many places really you can play. I've always wanted to go up into the Northern Territories.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never done that, and I realised that it would be logistically a bit difficult, maybe, but maybe they could stick us in a ute with our stuff in the back, and we can flaming galar it up there or something. But I
That
think it
sounds.
was another one of these tours. I wouldn't mind doing a club gig in wherever. I'm not familiar with the Northern Territories, but
That.
one thing is there's only so many places you can play. So we're very appreciative of coming back, but I wish we could come back a bit more.
Yeah, and it's very cool that, for the last couple of tours, at least off the top of my head, you've hit sort of Perth and Adelaide, who are often can be left out of a lot of big tours. So I'm sure they are very appreciative, and they've always gone down really well, which is awesome. Um,
Yes, love playing Perth.
yeah, it's amazing, and it's a shame that not. I mean, I understand the logistics, but it is a shame that they do often miss out on quite a few really cool shows. So it's amazing that you're heading there. Well, that's pretty much the end of our time. Is there anything that you would like to add?
I'd just like to tell everybody that we've been going for about 30 years. If I could just point that out, I don't think we've actually touched upon that at
I'm not.
all.
I don't know that we've mentioned that.
No, not at all. Not really. I think I've covered everything. I just very much looking forward to coming down. I'd grab your tickets. I've got the ticket sales here, and I know that apart from one gig, which is great, but still has tickets left. I think a couple of them literally on the cusp of selling out. So
Yeah,
bearing in mind it's Friday and the first show is next Wednesday.
yeah. Wednesday or
I'd crack on now,
yeah,
um, if you're planning on coming. But it's going to be it's definitely going to be something. You know, it's going to be an experience. Um, and yeah, I think the collaboration is going to please fans of both bands and fans of individual bands. I think it's going to bring a kind of unity to things. It's worked before, and I think it'll work in Australia. I know that Australians got very open mind about stuff, and like I said, despite them DevilDriver and Cradle being two completely different bands, it's not that different, really, is it? It's
No,
all noise.
it's we
As
do
my
love
grandma would say, it's all noise.
it's all noise. No, and it is. Aussies do love a good mix bill when when there's something you may not even know what it is that tethers it, that it makes sense, which I think this one does, which is really cool. I'm really, really excited. I'll be there in Sydney, don't you worry. But as you said, yeah, grab those tickets. They'll be storming out the door, the last few for each one in the next week. So thank you so much, Dani.
Pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you, and best of luck with all the tour.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week.